Good morning, LMU Lion families. Janelle Monáe is a luminary in activism and the arts, whose imagination and creative expression demonstrate radical commitment to curiosity and learning. A multi-hyphenate, 10-time Grammy-nominated artist, New York Times best-selling author, actor, and fashion icon, Janelle is known worldwide for their inimitable style and visionary sound, which celebrates the spectrum of identity. Following their critically acclaimed 2018 album, Dirty Carpenter, Janelle released The Age of Pleasure last year to glowing reviews. As an actor, Janelle starred as Cassandra Brand in Netflix's much-anticipated sequel, Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. They also are credited for their roles in the Academy-nominated film Hidden Figures and the Academy Award-winning Moonlight. Love that film. Love that film. As an author, Janelle published their first book, The Memory Librarian and Other Stories of Dirty Computer, in 2022, which debuted on the New York Times bestseller list. Beyond music, acting, and writing, Janelle was honored with the Critics' Choice 2023 See Her Award and recognized as Trevor Project's Suicide Prevention Advocate of the Year. Impressive. Janelle serves as a co-chair to Michelle Obama's When We All Vote, a nonpartisan initiative that seeks to change the culture around voting and increase participation. Janelle also established their own initiative, Femme for the Future, which enables opportunities for fellow creatives and society at large by supporting after-school and summer enrichment activities that increase exposure and access to a variety of careers. Janelle Monáe's career embodies the essence of pushing boundaries and championing inclusivity, principles that resonate with our Catholic, Jesuit, and Marymount mission. Their dedication to challenging the status quo, entrepreneurial spirit, and commitment to social change mirror LMU's goals of educating students to become persons for and with others, prepared to confront the complex challenges of today's world. For their remarkable achievements, Loyola Marymount University is proud to bestow on Janelle Monáe the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
Ms. Monáe, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the state of California and by the trustees of Loyola Marymount University, I now confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining to that degree. Congratulations, Dr. Monáe. No panic, you're all right.
Graduates, families, and friends, I am pleased to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Janelle Monáe.
Look at me, I'm already talking differently. Even how I move now has shifted. No, wow, are you kidding me? Hi, guys. Thank you so much, Father Siebert, for the introduction, your words. To the Loyola Marymount University graduating class of 2024. Good afternoon and happy graduation! Y'all look so beautiful. I see all the little touches that you put on your gowns and your caps. I wish you could see you guys the way I see you right now. I come to you today with a prayer in my heart. And I want to start that prayer by saying thank you. Thank you all so much for having me and letting me share this moment with you. I stand in an ocean of gratitude. Thank you to President Snyder. Thank you, Provost Poon, Executive Vice President Ray, and the university leadership for this humbling invitation and this high honor. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging my work. Thank you for acknowledging my heart and all that it has taken for me to make it to this moment. I can't help but think about my grandmother, Bessie, who was a sharecropper born in Aberdeen, Mississippi, and she had her 14 siblings with her, and they shared one pair of school shoes. They would take turns walking down those Mississippi dirt roads, eager and ready to learn. She then became a cook in the county jail for 25 years, and she bore 12 children. Yes, I have a big family. I have 49 first cousins. And the baby of my grandmother's children was my incredible mother. It's their service to community, their sacrifice, their perseverance. They're all the reason that I care deeply for the communities that I am in and I am a part of, and it is the reason I get to stand here with you all today. I want to celebrate. Y'all want to celebrate? Let's celebrate and also thank this faculty. Let's thank the staff here who work so hard to support and guide you beautiful graduates. Yes. Lions, this is your moment. Take it in. Take it in, breathe it in, look around, hug yourselves. You worked your asses off to get to this moment. All right? And I also want to take a moment to thank your loved ones. Those who are here with you today, let's clap, come on. It was your support group who lifted you up during those times you doubted if you could make it across the finish line, right? The stress you caused them, they deserve some applause. But we really do celebrate you. We celebrate each of you who has given your time and dedicated your life in the last few years to becoming masters, doctors, experts at your crafts. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your diligence. We desperately need you in our future. You will be in charge of defining what I'd like to call a new standard of love. Some may know me from my fashion. Some may know me from my work in films. Some may know me from my work as an author. Some may know me as an android, Cindy Mayweather, sent from the future. Some may know me for my work on behalf of marginalized communities, and some may know me for my music. Today, I come to all of you as a writer with a simple song in my heart. On my first LP, The Archandroid, I wrote the song Cold War, and there's a refrain that repeats in that song that says, "It's a cold war. Do you know what you're fighting for?" It's a potent question to ask oneself in these times. After you move forward past this moment of graduation, You may find yourselves in positions of power or great influence, in rooms with other powerful and influential leaders. As I look out here today, I can't help but see the potential you have as shapeshifters in education, arts, engineering, and in medicine. Graduates, as you move forward from this moment into the world, I urge you to consider this. What will you fight for? Who will you fight for? And what values and causes will guide your path? I'm here to propose that we need a new standard of love in this world. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. In music, a standard is a classic song that everyone knows. It's reliable. The band can play it, right? When you do karaoke, you sing it. But the problem with some standards is that they're old, songs from the past. And sometimes they haven't evolved to reflect the times we're living in now. Graduates, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that I'm deeply concerned that we've been settling for the same societal standards for far too long. The old songs of injustice, inequality, and division that have echoed throughout history. They have never been good ones for us to sing, yet they keep being sung at the top of our lungs. Played on a loop, played as a soundtrack to our lives. They're causing too much pain, too much suffering. They are holding us back from realizing our full potential to love as human beings and as a humanity. It's time for a new standard of love. Everybody say, it's time for a new standard of love.
It's time for a new standard of love.
We need a new standard that categorically rejects the marginalization and oppression of any human being, regardless of their race, their gender, religion, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, or ability. We need a standard that unequivocally says everyone's health, well-being, and human rights have value. A standard that doesn't silence or punish the voices bravely speaking out for the dignity of others whose voices have been silenced. There must be a new standard of love. A love that will lead. A love that values deeply humanity and puts people first. A new standard that doesn't say some people are valuable and some are not. This old standard that people keep singing has to end. It's time for a new standard of love. We can no longer sing in the key of hate. We can no longer sing in the key of indifference. If that is your starting point, you're in the wrong key. The new standard has modulated to a higher key and is vibrating much higher. It has a much higher vibration. You see, the old standards being sung have people across the world experiencing homelessness because they have been kicked out of their homes by governments who seek to displace them. The old songs have people experiencing homelessness right here in America. People getting kicked off of park benches when they only want a place to lay their heads. We need a new standard of love. There are people speaking out on behalf of marginalized folks right in their backyards, and they get put in jails. There are people who speak out on behalf of marginalized people living on the other side of the world because they see the parallels with their native injustices. They too get jailed. They're even being murdered. We need a new standard of love. There are Americans who have to travel outside of their country or sneak to other states just to get health care. We need a new standard of love. The song that says politicians can go around telling me what you can and cannot do with your body is an old, tired song. It needs to come to an end, and it's time for a new standard of love. The song that's sung when my sibling or brother or your sister is having a mental health crisis, and we call the police only to have our lives or our loved ones' lives taken from us. We need a new standard of love. When companies are charging 20 and 30 times the cost for the same medicine and health care that's affordable on the other side of a border, it's time for a new standard of love. When books about my history and my ancestors who were forced into slavery are being banned by politicians who want to erase our history, and books about my LGBTQIA plus community are being banned from schools so kids who need to feel seen never do, we need a new standard of love. When my trans siblings' lives are being snatched away from them for simply existing and living in their truth, we need a new standard of love. When governments put their little children to work, our babies to work, digging out minerals with no regard for their safety or their lives, just to then sell their harvest around the world for billions of dollars, that song must come to an end. It's time for a new standard of love. Governments making different rules for different people of different religions. That song should have never been written. When Muslims get mistreated because they're Muslims. When Jews get mistreated because they're Jewish. When Christians get mistreated because they're Christians. Or when atheists get mistreated because they're atheists. We need a new standard of love. When people hold innocent people hostage, we need a new standard of love. When governments are justifying the bombing of innocent civilians, we need a new standard of love. I know, like me, we are tired of the old song of indifference. It has never worked. That old song has run its course, and it's been playing far too long around the world. The verses have worn thin. The hate that has fueled so many generations across the world has got to end. It's time to cut the mic. It's time for a new standard of love. It's not working when the government for the people, by the people, and of the people don't respect the people. It's time for a new standard of love. Graduates, I've come to you today to propose that we write this new song together. I want to write it with you. Let's make a hit, right? We can decide if it's punk rock, if it's a ballad, if it's R&B, if it's hip hop. I want to do this with you. I know some of you have already been humming away because I see you working. I see you. I see your work. I want to call out and acknowledge the work of E.J. Liao, whose compassionate research on art therapy is making a way for at-risk populations to process their trauma. I thank you. And then there's Hasib Haqs Sarabi, a healthcare systems engineer working to give real care to working to give real care to underserved women in LA dealing with breast cancer diagnosis. I thank you. And then there's Kouao Temo Martel, Selenas, a documented scholar whose doctoral work on undocumented students highlights how they survive within and contribute to institutions of higher education. I thank you. We thank you. I see new verses and a readiness to sing a new tune. I offer you these three things to keep in mind, graduates, as we make this new song and we go out into the world, as we create this new standard of love. Number one, listen. Be eager to listen to others. Give yourself and others room to really be heard. Really hear and understand the messages that are said and unsaid. Number two, learn. Stay curious, meet new people, and learn about them. Further investigate. Explore outside of what you know, and remain a learner for life. Number three, love. At a time when supply and demand and artificial scarcity is in vogue, remember that love is our most abundant resource. Spend your love freely and willingly to anyone who will accept it. I bring this to you because you all will be the ones to bring that new standard forward. You and I are going to write the song of the future. You and I are writing the song because it is time for a new standard of love. Y'all say it with me. It is time for a what? New standard of love. Bring wings to the weak and bring grace to the strong. I love you all. And congratulations to the LMU graduating class of 2024. God bless.